People move to Boise every single week, and a lot of them regret where they actually end up moving to versus the move itself. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 biggest mistakes I see people make when making the move to Boise and how you can avoid them before you lock yourself into the wrong area. My name is Greg Langham. I'm an associate broker here in the Boise, Idaho area, which means I can help you buy and sell real estate. So if you're thinking about coming to the Boise, Idaho area, pick up the phone, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email so that we can connect and put a game plan together that's right for you. Okay, mistake number 1 is choosing a neighborhood before really understanding the commute or getting around town. Boise looks small on a map, and that's where people get burned. 2 places can be 10 miles apart and feel like completely different during rush hour, after school, and that's where people really get burned when it comes to commute time or getting around town, and that's where I see a lot of people get tripped up. I've seen people buy incredible homes, just beautiful homes, and love it. They're so happy they relocated here. Then life settles in. Then they're taking their kids to school. They're taking their kids to after school sports or their activities. And about 35, 45, 60 days in, they're like, oh, what did we just do? We love the neighborhood, but wow, we are in our car a lot more than we thought. This congestion, like Idaho doesn't quite have it figured out. So that is kind of like, one of the mistakes I see a lot of people make is they fall in love with the house, not understanding fully where their activities are gonna be, what the school situation looks like, the commute, Costco, getting to Costco, all that stuff really looks like once you kind of settle in to the groove of things. So the mistake isn't the distance, it's just the daily friction. But if you're not having to deal with all that, you're retired, that's not gonna matter to you. But if you're like in the grind of day-to-day stuff, that might be the mistake that you want to avoid when relocating to Boise, Idaho. Okay, mistake number 2 that I get this a lot. They say, Greg, or anyone on the team, hey, we're coming to Idaho, but our budget is $500,000. We can't go over that, or this is our cap. And I appreciate that. You gotta stick within your budget. But the better question is what is gonna be your lifestyle when you come to Idaho? Because that can change and that can vary based off of where that 500 will put you. And we can still stick within that budget, but I'm more focused on what kind of lifestyle do you wanna have when you come to Idaho? Because 500,000 could get you rural housing where you're kind of out there. It could get you in a walkable neighborhood where you wanna walk to a coffee shop. It could get you in brand new construction. It can get you closer to the foothills. It could get you away from the foothills. So the question that I always have with people like yourself who are watching on YouTube and considering making a move to Idaho, it's like, okay, tell me a little bit about what your goals are when you come to Idaho. Is it, hey, I'm working from home, we gotta be close to the schools to get the kids in and out, or hey, I'm retired, I wanna be close to some walking trails, or I wanna be in a walkable neighborhood, here's our budget. So the price and the budget always come into play, but the question should be what kind of lifestyle do you want to live? And then we kind of go after the budget. So that's just kind of where I see a lot of mistakes happen when people are, relocating here, is they're like, I got to stick to this budget. Okay, so we stick to that budget, but then their lifestyle's like, well, I can't really do this house, Greg, because my lifestyle is this. Well, had we known that, then we could have flipped our tour completely around, saved a lot of time, and focused more on what's gonna be important to you when living here in Idaho so that we can find that lifestyle within the budget that you're looking to stay under. So kind of flip the script a little bit as you're talking at home, as you're having discussions, as you're thinking about making the move here to Idaho. What's that lifestyle look like? Do you want to get up and go and hit the mountains and be camping? Are you a mountain biker? Do you whitewater? Do you kayak? Do you just want to be in a walkable? Do you mountain? All that stuff. Think about that. So when you reach out and we have those conversations, that's the conversation we want to have with you, is tell me a little bit about you. What is it that's important to you in making this move? And then we'll work through the budget. But I just see that a lot with people in making that mistake when they are relocating here, is like, this is our budget, find us a home in this price range. Okay, when people don't choose lifestyle first, they end up in a house they like in an area or a lifestyle that doesn't fit them. So you kind of have to pick and choose what's going to be the most important for you. But keep that in mind when thinking about relocating to Boise, Idaho. Okay, mistake number 3 is understanding the true cost of new construction. Here in Idaho, we have a lot of new construction, a lot of builders, but the list price does not always equal the final price. So there are builders across the board that have set prices for you to go in, and those homes are already built. We have builders who set entry prices, but then the cost to actually get into the build and then to finish the home with your upgrades, the lot, the fencing, the landscape, all that stuff gets added to it, and your final price might look completely different than the advertised home starting as low as. So you really have to be careful in knowing that, hey, just because the sign says home starting in as low as does not mean that that's going to be the final price. That's just going to be your entry point to start the basic contract. Then you're going to want to add your finishes, your landscaping, your fencing, and any other bells and whistles you want to add to the home to beautify it. So that is where I see a lot of home buyers who are coming to the state kind of get caught up in the new construction in those model homes, designing their forever home. They kind of get a little over the top in design. So you just have to be careful. Just know that that's where we help you. That's where having someone on your team can really kind of help you. And if you're like, hey Greg, this is the lifestyle I'm looking for, I do want to stay new construction, I just like the idea of just no one ever being in a home before I move into the home. And there's people like that, and I love that. So, but we can kind of help you and be like, hey, remember, this is what you said you wanted to be at. We love this area. This is a good builder that you want to stay in. This is kind of where you're going to be at numbers wise. Let's stick with that. So we'll be your coach and helping you. Ultimately, you'll make the decision. But if you need someone to kind of, hey, keep you in check, we're a great asset for you to have on your team going through new construction. Mistake number 4 is assuming that Boise, Idaho is just one market. It's not. Boise has a lot of micro markets. Boise has homes that are against the foothills. They're in the foothills. Boise has homes that are out west or out south, past the freeway against farmland. So that has a lot of variables when it comes to pricing, when it comes to school boundaries, when it comes to HOAs, whether some neighborhoods have irrigation water for your non-potable watering. They have a lot of the Boise neighborhoods have different irrigation districts and different water districts. So you really have to kind of look at all of that. It's just not one size fits all. There's so many different variables that happen when you move to Boise. Two neighborhoods can look similar but have completely different feel once you live in there. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about coming to Boise. Same thing for Meridian, same thing for Eagle. Probably the same thing for your state that you're in or the city that you're in. If I was to move to your city, you'd probably say, Greg, it's not like the same everywhere. You'd be educating me and saying, well, this part of town is a lot different, has a completely different vibe. It's the same thing here. So just keep that in mind. Coming to Boise, coming to Meridian, coming to Nampa, Caldwell, same difference. A lot of different variables, a lot of micro markets, and a lot of different things that could make up different vibes, schools, all that stuff. So it's just great to kind of have that information and not just come in assuming it's going to be just like this one vanilla, flavor. And what I see a lot when people come to Boise is popularity does not equal what's right for you. So just because you hear of one particular neighborhood in Boise, it doesn't mean that's going to align with like your lifestyle or what you're into, and that's okay. So you don't have to get caught up in, so many people are moving here, that's where I got to go. It might be because that's where it fits for them, but if you are someone who likes to be close to, let's just say, the river, then there'd be no reason for you to be buying in South Boise. Or if you have a kid that wants to be in a certain school district because they have this program, there's no reason for you to be buying up in the foothills. So there's a lot of variables. The popular neighborhood does not equal what might be right for you and your lifestyle coming to Boise. Okay, mistake number 5, and this is where, I see so many comments like, he's just a salesman, he's a realtor, he's just trying to make a commission, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to give you the real information. Yes, I sell real estate, that's my living. I get paid when I sell a house, but really, I want you to be comfortable with your house payment. And I've seen people move to Idaho in hopes of stretching their budget because they're speculating that Boise will continue to grow. So mistake number 5 is overspending in order to kind of ride an appreciation. Now, all the keyboard warriors on YouTube right now are gonna be like, wow, you know, but really, I'm kind of just trying to tell you the truth. Don't overspend in hopes that Boise will keep appreciating, you're gonna make a lot of money. It's worth it to kind of keep your payment in check, buy a smaller home, a less expensive home, so you're comfortable with your monthly payment versus stressing over your monthly payment every single month. It's just not worth it. You're not gonna enjoy living in Boise because you're gonna be so stressed out. You're gonna wanna go do stuff, but you can't because you have to work in maybe a second job, or you're gonna have to do other things to kind of make sure that you're like staying put and be able to survive your monthly payment. It's just not worth it. Boise, Idaho, and Idaho in general is an outdoor mecca. So if you're coming here to enjoy that lifestyle, don't come to stretch yourself in hopes that it'll continue to appreciate. It probably will because we're growing. We're like in the teenage phase of like city growth, but it's real estate, and real estate goes up and it comes down, and it goes up and it comes down. So whether you buy and you gamble and say, hey, I'm gonna stretch, and hopefully it rides up and you make a great appreciation, you sell and you win, that's great. But if you don't and you buy high and the market kind of goes slow, then you're stuck. And no one wants to be like that. No one wants to be in that position. So the buyers who are happiest here usually don't max out. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to max out. And I want you to come here, buy a smaller home if that means, or buy something that's gonna still fit your lifestyle, gonna be in a great neighborhood, but maybe we work towards getting into another, building that equity slowly over time to get into a home that you fell in love with originally, or an area. But you know what? After you've lived here for a little while, maybe you're glad you didn't buy that house, because now that you've kind of done the commute, you are a little bit more familiar with the area, you've kind of fallen into like this pattern of your life that you're like, you know what, man, I find myself going to Lucky Peak and going to the reservoir every summer, like more and more, so maybe I want to be more closer to that. Or geez, I find myself going up to McCall every weekend. Maybe I want to kind of buy a second home up there. So you're glad you didn't max out. So whether that's, bad advice, good advice, I just think it's smart advice to not max out on real estate. So that's the mistake I've seen people make, and it's sad. It's sad to see people not enjoying living in Idaho because they're so stressed out on their monthly payment that they can't go out and enjoy, explore, discover, and find new hobbies that Idaho can give to you. So, is that bad advice from a realtor? Am I gonna get online hate because I'm trying to sell you a house now and I just wanna make commission, I don't care about you? No, I care about you. I want you to be happy when you move to Idaho. I want you to enjoy living here so that you can go out and enjoy everything that Idaho has to offer you. Okay, so I'm off my soapbox about that. So let's just recap this video really quick. So I want you to pick a neighborhood over the commute, right? Definitely let's figure that out for you first. I want you to pick your lifestyle over the price of the home. We want to budget for the real cost of the home versus of the new construction home. So what's it really gonna be like to get into that new construction home? Understand that there is micro markets here in Boise. Don't max out on your purchase coming to Idaho. So that's kind of the recap of the Boise. Now, if you're thinking still like, hey, I think I still wanna do this, I'm feeling good about it, what I've done is in the description of this video, I put a website that you could go to search all the listings that are available here in the Boise, Idaho area. Just log on there, search around in the Boise, Meridian, Eagle, Nampa, Caldwell area, and start looking at the real estate and look at the houses, and then we'll connect with you. Or you can just pick up the phone and reach out to me. That number on the screen will come right to me. And if I can't get it, I'll have a team member reach out to you, and we're gonna connect with you, and we're gonna understand what your lifestyle is, your budget, all that stuff, and we're gonna help you put a game plan together that's right for you. So Don't make the mistakes I've seen people make over the years. This is a good video for you to share with your friends. Go ahead and like this video. If you're not subscribed, I would appreciate you subscribing. And until next week, go Idaho.